Hi, everyone. Happy Monday. I hope you guys had a great weekend. Share with me in the chat what you've been up to. Would love to discuss that later this afternoon. Nice glasses, Brianna. Love your new haircut, Cohen. Beautiful. Well, let's just jump right in. I know we have a brand new topic this morning, and before we get to that, I would like to ask how many of you have any flowers or flowering bushes around your house? And if you do, oh, quite a bit. Yes, you know already, I have a flower garden and a berry garden, so I do have lots of flowers myself. So I'm just checking to see how many of you have some flowers outside. Well, quite a few of you. Awesome. With that, I want to ask the next question. How many of you have been noticing some insects that come over to your flowers to get a little bit of nectar here and there? Or maybe they're not insects, maybe something else. Let's see. Ariana? Oh, okay, bees. Yes, I agree. Bees love nectar because they bring that over to their beehives, and they make honey with that. Bumblebees, yes. Hummingbirds, absolutely. Hummingbirds also love to collect nectar. And with that, butterflies. I've been noticing lots and lots of butterflies that come over to my flower garden. And very often, if I have a chance and a phone near me, I love to come over and take a quick picture of those butterflies. Then look in my butterfly book to actually see if I can find the butterfly that I took a picture of and see if I can find the name and the description. That's kind of a fun hobby that I have. Okay. So today's topic, butterflies. And we will learn a lot about their life and their life cycle to actually learn more how they change throughout their life. Okay. So with that being said, we are going to use Nearpod as our guiding tool today. So I will share a link with you in the chat. Okay, so you can go ahead and click on the Nearpod link in the chat box, and I will start sharing my screen so you guys can see what's going on. Okay. So today we will zoom in and learn a little bit about the life cycle of a butterfly. Okay. So our essential question for today's lesson would be, how do butterflies change throughout their life cycle? And they do change quite a bit, and they go through pretty amazing transformations. Okay. All right, quick check on you guys to see what or how much do you actually know about a life cycle. Some of you might know a lot. That's good. Some of you know a little. That's great. And if you don't know anything, that is fine as well. So quickly check and move on. If you do know some facts about butterflies and their life cycle, please share it with us. Here you have an option of typing your quick fact or use a microphone to record your answer. Okay. Okay, so all right. Lots of you are sharing. Yes, they have Definitely 3 body parts. Yes, they do. They do have 6 legs. Yes, and they do have wings of various sizes depending on the species. Yes, they do have proboscis. They use it. That's a straw-like tongue that they use to drink the nectar. Yes, beautiful. So thank you for all of your information. Now we're going to jump in and take a look at this video. Now pay close attention because this video will pause and we'll ask you some questions along the way. Okay, so pay close attention.
4 different stages in their life. The adult female butterfly lays anywhere from 1 to hundreds of eggs. The eggs are about the size of the head on a pin. A caterpillar grows inside each egg. The eggs are covered in a sticky glue-like liquid that helps them attach to nearby leaves.
All right, so choose the right answer. Butterflies attach their eggs to the leaves by using nectar from the flowers, B, by spitting on them, or C, by covering their eggs with special glue. Okay, so choose your right answer.
Only takes 3 to 6 days for a caterpillar to develop inside the egg, then hatch. Once the baby caterpillar is born, it can eat the leaves it was attached to for food. When the caterpillar is hatched, it is called the larvae phase, or the second stage of its life. This stage lasts until the caterpillar grows to adulthood, which takes about 5 to 10 days. Can you imagine going from a baby to an adult in only 1 week? The caterpillar has strong jaws and eats leaves for food. As the caterpillar grows bigger, it outgrows its skin. It sheds its skin because it gets too big for it. Just like you buy a new pair of jeans.
Okay, so why do caterpillars shed their skin? You can go ahead and type your answer. Just 1 sentence, 2 sentences max. Why do they have to shed their skin? What is the big reason behind it?
Of jeans when you get too big for your old pair. Some caterpillars shed their skin 4 times before they become fully grown. Fully grown for a caterpillar is about 2 inches in length. Other insects besides caterpillars also go through this stage. Stage 3 is called the pupa stage. During this stage, the caterpillar or larvae attaches itself to a branch or the underside of a leaf using a bit of silk it produces. For a final time, the caterpillar sheds its skin. This time, it reveals a hard skin underneath, called a chrysalis. Sometimes people call a chrysalis a cocoon, but a chrysalis and a cocoon are not the same thing. A cocoon is spun by a moth and made from silk. A chrysalis is the hard covering that appears after a caterpillar sheds its skin. During the pupa.
All right, so he calls it a chrysalis. I say it like chrysalis. So chrysalis is a hard skin around the caterpillar. Is that true or false? And that's during the pupa stage. So check true or false.
Pupa stage, the cells of the caterpillar turn into cells of a butterfly. This process is called metamorphosis. It is one of nature's most amazing occurrences. It takes between 7 to 10 days for a young caterpillar to turn into an adult butterfly. When the butterfly emerges from the chrysalis, the pupa stage ends and the 4th and final stage of its life cycle begins.
So multiple choice question here. How long does it take for a chrysalis to turn into an adult or a grown-up butterfly? A, 1 to 5 days, B, 5 to 7 days, C, 7 to 10 days. Check your answers right quick.
Now, the butterfly is an adult. However, it cannot fly when it is first born. Instead, it hangs upside down until its wing takes shape and become hard. After about 2 hours, the butterfly wings will have developed completely and it is ready to fly. Depending on the species, a butterfly lives for about a week to a year. During this time, the butterfly's purpose is to reproduce or lay eggs so the life cycle of other butterflies can begin.
All right, so we now learned 4 stages of the butterfly's life cycle, starting with eggs on the leaf. Then the eggs hatch and little tiny caterpillars come out. They're very hungry. I hope you remember the Very Hungry Caterpillar book by Eric Carle. So they eat, and they get big and big and big and big, even bigger. And they stretch so much they have to shed their skin. And then eventually they make a hard type shell around them called the pupa. And they spend about 7 to 10 days inside of it. And after that, emerges a beautiful grown-up butterfly. Okay, so now, once we learned a little bit about the 4 stages, now I invite you to play a game and practice matching the life cycle of a butterfly. So here we go. We'll do it together. So, okay, egg will match with egg. Yes. Butterfly will match with butterfly. Now it gets a little tricky here. Larva. Okay, so larva is the same as a caterpillar. Matches with the green hungry caterpillar. And pupa is the chrysalis. Okay, so try and practice as much as you can during this game over and over. And then I will send you the self-paced link to this lesson as well, and you can practice this on your own as well. Okay. All right, so open-ended question. I want you to type your answer or record it using a microphone. Use the following vocabulary: pupa, caterpillar, eggs, and butterfly to describe the butterfly's life cycle in the correct order. Now I want you to use the words like first, next, or second, third, and last, or a numbered list. Okay, so spend some time doing that. And now we will have a little bit of fun and play a game. Choose the right answer by clicking on an image. In which stage does the animal eat the most? So look at the images and choose where do they eat the most? Okay, which shows the pupa stage. Click the image that you think is pupa. What is the hard shell that a butterfly develops around itself? Okay, cocoon, larva, pupa, chrysalis. At which stage is the animal able to reproduce? Okay, when is it ready to reproduce or make babies or lay eggs? And the final question is, during which stage does the animal molt or sheds its skin? Okay. Egg, pupa, caterpillar, or butterfly. Okay. And in the end, I would ask my students about the most interesting or surprising fact that they learned about the life cycle of a butterfly. They will share their thoughts here. And finally, we will have an assessment piece in the end that will be recorded, and then I will run a report on Nearpod on that with 4 questions, and they will do that independently in a quiet environment where they can focus and concentrate and read the question and the answers out loud. And in the end, I would generate a report producing lots of important data on this particular lesson. Okay. Now, I would run another lesson for my advanced students, and they would get a different Nearpod lesson on the life cycle of a butterfly. And this one will have extended information throughout the lesson. It will kind of start out as the same lesson, but it will give a lot more details and in-depth information about caterpillars and what they look like, a different look of butterflies, more videos, reading articles about their life cycles, going into metamorphosis and identification of insects, what they look like. They can match the definition in an image with the word it represents. So they will have an article about the stages of a life cycle to read and focus on that. It would have a game to practice, just like we did together. They can practice doing the matching game, and then they will spend a little bit more time talking about metamorphosis, what is proboscis, watching a video, just like in the first lesson, open-ended question, but then they will dive deeper into the differences between butterflies and moths and why they're different. Okay, watch video on that. Open-ended question on the difference in the pupa stage for moths and butterflies. That would be very important. And in the end, we will run a quiz on the understanding, so I can get the data for assessment, formative assessment, 4 questions, and I would generate a report in the end. And here, just for a little fun, they could label the 4 stages just to practice on their own and submit that. And in the end, I always ask how confident they feel about explaining the life cycle of a butterfly. That gives me some insight on their confidence level as well. All right, well, that should summarize my quick lesson on a life cycle of a butterfly. Thank you for watching.